The Sunday night game, Buffalo and Pittsburgh, one of the better games of the weekend. It was close early. The Bills eventually pulled away. Let's hear from Ben Roethlisberger, the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, immediately after the 26-15 defeat.
If I don't play good enough football, then I need to hang it up. But, I still feel like I can, do enough things to help this team win football games. And I'm going to do everything I can to get us back on track.
This is a team with shaken faith after winning 11 in a row. You don't want to be losing back-to-back games in December. That's when you're supposed to be playing your best football and rising to the challenge. Warning signs galore for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The offense still way out of balance between run and pass. They're not getting it done with the run. James Conner had 10 carries for 18 yards in his return from a couple of games on the COVID-19 reserve list. What did you see in the film that shed light on why the Steelers' offense still can't move the way it needs to?
Well, we what we thought or suspected, right, from watching the game on TV Sunday night is kind of true to what we see, in what I saw on film. It wasn't a whole lot different. The predictability within their predictableness, right, or whatever the hell I said yesterday, that's true. There's just no fear of that offense right now. There's no room for error. If you're going to throw the ball every time, yeah, you can't drop passes, and we know that. But at the same time, with defenses and a guy like McDermott who's very creative, he had no fear. He could play it different ways last night, Mike. Or 2 nights ago. Hey, we're going to show the blitz, and then we'll drop out, and there's the short passes, and we'll hit them as soon as they catch it, or maybe we'll cause an interception like we saw, or whatever that may be. Or you can just blitz everybody and go, they're going to throw it short, and then we just got to come up and make the tackle because you kind of know where the ball's going. They're going to be in the shotgun. They're going to throw it short. There's not enough diversity there with what they do. They got to change it up a little bit. And that to me is really the biggest issue. They're not going to change into a running football team. That's not going to happen. Sure, you'd like them to run a little just so maybe they can have the token play action every now and then. But really, ultimately, to me, what they got to do is just expand what they do. More ideas in the pass game. Keep the tight end and running back into block sometimes so Big Ben feels comfortable with a 7-man protection, Mike. And then you could have 3 receivers to his side. You could have Juju and Deontay Johnson and Claypool on a 3-man bunch to your left, the tight end and running back to your right, 7-man protection. Hey, guys, go down the field, and we're going to work some great combinations and do stuff like that. That's, to me, just where it has to go. But yeah, they're in a stall point right now with just short passes, 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. And that formula is just too predictable, and it's not going to get them to a Super Bowl or where they want to go.
Question.
Yes.
Because this isn't an issue of the Steelers not having receivers with the ability to get down the field. And look, I'd have to go back and study every game carefully to see how often this happens. Yeah. But as we've seen the trend, it's short pass, short pass, short pass. Is there a concern that maybe Ben can't fire it down the field the way he used to post-elbow surgery? Is that the reason why they're not throwing it down the field?
I don't think so. It's crossed my mind. It has. But I think we've seen enough through the year to go, no, the deep ball's there. He can do it. It's got to be a little bit more of the mindset of the offense. And, whether that's him or, offensive coordinator Randy, what the heck's his last name? Fichtner. Excuse me.
Maybe he doesn't want, maybe he can do it, but he doesn't want to push it.
But that's right? Right.
I still can do it, but I'm not going to do it 10 times a game anymore. I'm not doing that because then I'm going to need another elbow surgery. That may be in his brain.
It could be. That, and I think the other thing that comes to mind again with older quarterbacks is just, do you want to stand in there and take the hit to throw the 25-yard completion or the 40-yard bomb down the sideline? That is the big thing. We've seen that with Brady, right? We've seen it even a little with Phillip Rivers, where it's, hey, I don't want to get hit. Let me get the ball out of my hand. Oh, I think he's going to be open. Oh, no, there's 3 defenders there. Interception. So that they have to do, something to talk to him so he doesn't change the play or do something like that to go, hey, we got to find more of an aggressive way to throw the football. Mike, they had 1 third-down conversion in the football game. And you know what they did? They kept the tight end in the block. They kept the running back in the block. And Juju Smith-Schuster ran like a 15-yard crosser, and that was the only third down they converted throughout the night. But that, to my point, is what I think they need to do, because they're not going to become a ground and pound and start to dominate you in the run game this late in the season. That's not going to happen.
I got another theory for you, because I'm just kind of searching and trying to be creative here to figure out what's going on. He is throwing the ball down the field. He's the 4th in the NFL in deep pass attempts. So if he's concerned about the elbow, it's not keeping him from throwing it deep. However, he's 20th in passer rating on deep passes. Is this part of the politics of the quarterback position where his numbers are going to be better if he throws it short? Is that creeping into this? You believe that that's a factor for some quarterbacks, and when is it a factor for him, especially when he was in that MVP discussion? Was he maybe trying to protect his numbers and pump his numbers up by throwing the ball short instead of airing it out, risking interceptions and risking hurting his overall statistics for a given game?
I hope not. Listen, do I think Big Ben?
But you know that happens.
I do know that happens. You're totally. I know. You're right. It does happen. I'm hoping he's past that. Do I think he wants to throw the ball more at times and doesn't, hand the ball off for an RPO or checks to a pass because of stats and the political part of the game and all that? Yes, that's true. I that's crossed my mind many a times this year. I've said that I think that is true with him. But I don't think the deep ball thing is necessarily true. I think it's a little bit about, hey, this is how we play. We're going to control the clock. We got a lot of ways to throw the ball short and be efficient that way. And it's worked until these last few games. And now, hey, there's a book out there on what to do and how to stop them a little bit. And now this is their time to, have an answer for that book and go, okay, this is what we got to do to change it up. But obviously something's got to be done there. And they just can't Mike, it can't always be 3rd and 4 and we run 5-yard routes across the field. It's 3rd and 3 and we run 4-yard routes and jam it in there for the first down. It's 3rd and 6 and we run 7 yards to get the first down. There's way too much of that, and that's what I mean by the predictability within their predictableness. My great English.
I still am fascinated by these various dynamics that apply to the Steelers as we get a quarterback who is a Hall of Famer, who is trying to add to his legacy. He spoke before the season of an objective to win Lombardi trophies, multiple, during the whatever remaining time he has left. There's an urgency there. I think at some level he may be thinking, you know what, this is my career that's ending, not these other guys. I know my career only has so much time left, and I'm going to be responsible for what happens. And it may just be that's when you're the highest paid guy in the team and the most important player in the team, there really is no one there to rein you in, and that may be the problem. Finding a balance where they can get him to control himself,
right? Because
he sees the end of his career coming, and he's convinced himself that he's the key to the Steelers getting to where they want to go. And as of right now, they're not going to the number 1 seed. The Chiefs hold it, and by all appearances and all likelihoods, the Chiefs will end up with that number 1 seed, so the Steelers won't get a much-needed week off.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.